Hey Alexis, this first video will be for the unit circle, and basically a unit circle is a circle with a radius of 1 unit, hence the name unit circle. All the stuff you're seeing right now, this is just to refresh your memory about converting from degrees to radians and radians to degrees. So we have 1 degree is equal to pi over 180, or 1 radians is equal to 180 over pi. So if you're trying to convert from radians to degrees or degrees to radians, you have to use either one of these formulas. So this is just a refresher, just to recall whatever you guys did. Alright, so the next step is the unit circle itself. Like I said earlier, it's a circle with a radius of 1 unit. So Shar told me that you guys have to memorize the unit circle, like all the values, which is not terrible. It's not really that hard to memorize. All you have to do really is just to memorize this first area. So this is the unit circle, and this is the first part of it, which is like the first quadrant. So this is the first quadrant, second, third, and fourth. So the first quadrant here, you have 1 and 0 for your first value. Then you have root 3 over 2 and 1 for your second value, and it just goes on. If you just memorize this first part, the other parts is just the reverse of this one. So if you're in the second quadrant, so in the second quadrant, this is a negative x, this is a positive y, this is a negative y, and this is a positive x. This is just from when you're drawing graphs. So everything in the second quadrant, your y's will be positive and your x will be negative. So if you have an ordered pair, in this place we have an ordered pair of 1 and 0. When you come to this other side, it's going to be -1 and 0. 0 is always 0, so it's going to be -1 and 0, because the first term, remember, is the x term, and then the second term is the y term. So on this side it's 1 and 0, on this side it's going to be -1 and 0, and it's just going to be the same thing. And when you get to the third quadrant, the x is negative and the x is negative and the y is negative, so that means everything would be negative. So it's going to be -1, and so everything would be negative on this side. Then when you get to the fourth quadrant, the y is negative and the x is positive. So all the x's will be positive and all the y's would be negative. And that's pretty much all you have to do. So you don't have to memorize the entire circle. Just know one quadrant. And with that, you could just change the values. So as far as the unit circle itself and solving questions from that, it's really not that hard. You just have to know 3 formulas, really. So the first one is sine S equals Y. S represents whatever angle that they give you. So the second one, cosine S, is equal to X. And then tangent S is equal to Y over X. So once you know these 3 basic formulas, the other values like the cosecant, secant, and cotangent is just going to be the reciprocal of this. So the cosecant of this will be 1 over y. The secant of this will be 1 over x. And the cotangent of this will be x over y. So once you know this formulas, you could pretty much do anything with unit circle, at least on the surface level. So let's go ahead, and I have one question that I found that we could work on. If you have more questions, just let me know. If you have like a specific question, let me or Shar know, and I'll solve it for you. So this first question says find the exact values of, so find the exact values of 3 pi over 2, sine 3 pi over 0, and cosine, that's horrible, cosine 3 pi over 2, and then the last one is tangent 3 pi over 2. So this is not hard. Let's do the first one. The first one is sine, remember the formula is sine s equals y. So the value here is 3 pi over 2. So now we got to go to our unit circle and try to locate where 3 pi over 2 is. If you're not sure, this value 3 pi over 2 is in radians. So if you're not sure what value that is in degrees, you could just convert it to degrees. So we have that formula already, so we could do that. So you convert 3 pi over 2 into degrees. So to do that, it's just going to be 3 pi over 2 times 180 over pi, and this will give you 270 because the pi's will cancel out and everything else. So this will be 270 degrees. So I found that it's easier for some students to know the degree value as opposed to the radians value. So if you're looking for the degrees value, that's 270. So if you go to your unit circle under 270, you will get the values, you will get two ordered pairs. It's going to be 0 and 1. That's what you're going to get from the unit circle. So to find the value of sine 3 pi over 2, we know that the formula is sine s equals y. So this is our x value, this is our y value. So the answer for this first one will be 1, because that's what the formula is. So this will be 1 for the first one. For the second one is cosine 3 pi over 2. 3 pi over 2 is still the same as 270, and the formula for cosine s is equal to x, and the x value is 0. So the answer for this will be 0. And then for the third value is y over x. So this is our y, which is 1 over x, which is 0. 1 over 0, you cannot divide by 0, so the answer for the third one is undefined. And that's pretty much what unit circle is about. It's really not that much to it, but like I said, if you have a specific question, just let me know and we'll go from there. Alright?